Hey everyone, Sean here, and this is Sean from the Detroit Disney Duo. This is Sean's Stories, a somewhat daily vlog. It's been more somewhat than it's been daily. Lately, it's been a few weeks since I posted a recent vlog, but hey, here I am once again coming to you from the headquarters right here in Detroit. It's been some time. Anyways, so let's just go ahead and jump into things, but before we do so, I want to tell you, I really appreciate everybody subscribing and the people that have stuck with me over the last few weeks and had some patience and stuff like that. A lot of things have been going on. And also, if you're new, just go ahead and mash that subscribe button, shall you? Just mash it. It's free. You get notifications for free and whatnot. So anyhow, first of all, in the future, I'll be putting some posts on the community tab so you know when I'll be going live and whatnot, and have some community interactions right there. So let's just go ahead and get started. Of course, I have a lot of things right here on my notebook paper. As you know, if you did not know, I use a Franklin planner plus some other notes and whatnot. I'm a note taker, and that's just who I am. So let's just go ahead and jump into things. Yeah, so American Idol is like, yeah, it's now Hollywood Week and American Idol. I've been always watching American Idol since the beginning of American Idol, 20 years ago. It's hard to believe that 20 years ago is when American Idol started. Wow, I have to say that's absolutely crazy. 2002, you know what I'm saying? It was on Fox, and now it's on ABC, but Ryan Seacrest kind of followed the show along. I have to say that I liked Randy Jackson. He was always a good guy. He was always, he's a bass player. I'm a bass player. But also, I like Randy Jackson. He gave a lot of great intuition to everything. But I also like Lionel Richie. He is like... I love him, and he gets very emotional, I have to say. Anyways, so American Idol, there's a few people that I'm looking at American Idol. That's Mike Parker. I liked him. Leah Marlene. I think she made it into the next round from this last week. She had a duet. I think she was playing with the guitars. Anyways, let's see here. Christian Guardino, that's a hard name to pronounce. Jay Copeland and Tobias Hill. Those are some of the people that I liked. And then also Sailor, who looked like Drew could be Drew Barrymore's twin, like younger twin. Like, you know how everybody has like a doppelganger? That's her. Anyways, and then I also, one thing I seen during the auditions is the granddaughter of Aretha Franklin, and I'm very, I was surprised, not really surprised, but I was glad that Lionel talked to her and told her to come back in a couple of years and whatnot, next year after getting some more help. And I know that, the Aretha Franklin family and whatnot, they'll help her out if she reaches out to some people, because they have a lineage of musicians, you know what I'm saying? One thing I'm not a fan of, and I know there's a lot of them this season, is piano players and guitar players. Like, what the heck? Where are the freestanding, I want to know, where are the freestanding singers? There's not too many of them. There are a lot of them with guitars and pianos. I just don't know. I think they're going to have to give up those guitars and pianos. That's just me. I mean, I know Elton John, he's a piano player. Billy Joel's a piano player. We have a lot of piano playing singers, but for the most part, I think the ones who do I can't say, there's some people that are just the best, like the two I just mentioned. But for there's a lot of people who sing by themselves without an instrument that do just fantastic jobs, and that's what I'm getting to. Anyways, so I've been watching American Idol. I love it. It's going great. I can't get much of it, and it's fantastic. Anyhow, so let's talk about some of the other things that going on. So I've been playing this game, Wordle. I'm late to the game. It's already been 284 days since Wordle started, and then it was on its own, and I guess now it was sold to the New York Times or something like that, and I just started playing it. I don't know much about the game itself other than I've been playing it, and I do pretty good. I'm able to solve quite a bit of them. I'm not a Scrabble player, of course. I'm not a Scrabble player, but Wordle's a little different. You know what I'm saying? You got to get. They tell you where when you get the ones in the right, when you get the letters in the right columns, they turn green, and then if they're yellow, that those letters are there, and then it just kind of comes down to finding the word that matches. And the other day I did have a couple of tricky ones that I was like, wow, I thought it was that. I did finish them, but it took me longer. You know what I'm saying? It was like a word that was like, it could have been this, or it could have been that. Wordle. If you like Wordle and you want to go check it out, just Google Wordle. I think it's at the New York Times now. Go ahead and get into the Wordle fad, and just join on in. It'll do great for your word knowledge, boosting that up, and it's a great thing. Lots of competition. I love it. So another thing that I've been doing is I've been listening to a lot more music on Apple Music. I have Apple Music, yeah, and I love cool jazz or smooth jazz. I don't know if it's now called smooth jazz. They don't even call that anymore. They call it some other kind of jazz. I don't know. It used to be smooth jazz, but they have a playlist for that. And I've been listening to a lot more jazz music, trying to recognize who the artists are. I've kind of fallen behind, for some period of time, for some reason, I just haven't been listening to a lot of music. It's just something I just don't sit down and do unless it's on the radio when I'm going to work or driving around. And since we haven't been driving around that much, I haven't been listening to too much radio. And some of the part of that is because some of the, at least on top 40 and rap and stuff like that, some of the music just almost sounds almost the same all of the time. But jazz, I'm getting more into that. I've always liked jazz. I like jazz guitar. I like jazz saxophones. I like jazz trumpets. I mean, I just love jazz. Basically, I love it. It's a really great musical genre that I really love. My dad loved jazz. He showed me jazz, and then it's just something I'm really into. And what I'm trying to do is just basically get back into listening to it more, recognizing who the musicians are. Because if it was me and I was like $1 million and you were to ask me who the musician was of this, I'd be like, I don't know. Can I phone a friend? So basically that's what's going on. So another thing coming up, and I seen it on the news and I never talked about it, but daylight savings time. What they basically want to do is make it permanent. And I'm not I mean, I know that I like having extra hours at the end of the day. The day is longer, and that's what daylight savings does. It basically, you spring ahead and you get some more daylight in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? Well, the problem with that is what's going to happen in the morning time if we do this daylight savings time and it passes, and nobody ever changes their clocks after next spring. What will happen is basically you will not have that. You won't have that early morning sunrise. It won't go way early at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then a lot of the time, it'll be way later in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I think it's going to be kind of weird. It's going to be, people's sleep patterns are going to be really affected by this. You're going to be getting up in the morning, it's going to be super dark, but it'll still be 9 o'clock in the morning and it'll be super dark, even though in the nighttime, it'll be extended hours of daylight. Now, I like the daylight time, but I also am going to be missing getting up and being like, it's break of day, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be missing that quite a bit, so that kind of really, kind of sucks, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of, I guess, it's the trade-off of whether or not you're going to be having, basically you're going to be having the the daylight savings time, or you're not, or you're going to be switching back and forth all the time. I think it's something that we should have for now. I don't know that I want it permanent. That's all I'm saying. And that's something I don't know that I want or do not want. So, yeah, so there's lots of stuff going on. I just joined a group, well, not really a group that I just joined, but a group that I belong to is doing The Biggest Loser. Of course, I could surely, definitely lose some poundage. Yeah. I know that I was in the military, for some period of time, but now I have to lose some weight. Look, I'm like half of a century old, if you get what I'm saying, and I need to shed some poundage here. So basically I need some intuition, some encouragement like everybody else, and getting out and doing some walking, some exercising. I've bought some resistance bands. I'm doing some resistant band training, working out on the gun show. I don't know. I don't really have, big muscles right now, but yeah. So it's something I'm working on, trying to get into shape again. And this summer, I plan to basically drop a lot of pounds and get really better and fit. That is my whole entire summer goal. It is not a New Year's resolution. It is something that I'm going to be making as a daily routine. Some things that I'm going to try to work on here is getting more sleep, doing some exercising, and actually trying to get doing some vlogs and editing them and getting them out to you guys, because I want to share what's going on in the world and talk about things that make a lot of sense to me. So I know that this is probably going to be short. Like, this is going to be a very short video. I don't want to stream it on forever, but I have some other things, some other topics that I have written down. I do have a brand new dry erase board that I've been writing things down on, some topics that I want to be talking about, and I cannot wait to bring them to you. So anyways, with that said, hopefully you guys will see you tomorrow when I make the vlog. I might go outside some. It's supposed to be like 40 something degrees. It's no longer, well, so far let's kind of like, it is spring, and it is not all the way through April yet. April is just beginning, of course, and in April we have had April snow showers. I know April showers bring May flowers, but in Michigan it's April snow brings May no snow. I don't know. There's no match there, but yeah, I look forward at least to bringing you some outdoor vlogs, maybe in my backyard area, maybe out in my garage. I don't know. We'll see how it goes up. Maybe walk around the neighborhood. We'll see. I do know that I'm going to be doing these walks and whatnot, and I want to take you along my journey of maybe losing some weight poundage there, talk about some goals and aspirations of mine, and just sharing whatever, and some cool things, maybe some buys that I buy, some equipment, some technology, watches. I love watch. I'm a watch fanatic. I have a bazillion watches. I love Invicta. I'm an Invicta man. I do like Invicta. Some people say Invicta, that's cheap watches, but I like Invictas. They're kind of fun, and they look nice, and they're kind of cool to me, and I like the way that they're really huge, and so, whatnot. I like the way that they are. Anyways, so yeah. So then I also want to share with you guys some YouTube channels that I really do like. I want to put an emphasis on that. I've been here on YouTube since like 2009, which is a very long period of time. I've been around on YouTube now. My subscriber count is not the biggest because I never have really worked on it really, and that's what I want to do this year, is work on it. I want to get subscribers up to over 1,000. I want to, and I don't want you just to be clicking the button saying, oh, yeah, we'll just give you another click. But, basically, I want you guys to like me, and I want you to like the content, basically, that I'm putting out. I do am a work now. These are the some. I do have some restrictions here. Basically, I don't talk about politics. First of all, that's one thing. I just really hate the drama about politics. Secondly, I don't talk about religion. I just don't like talking about religious things. So there's some topics that now have become like they are newsy, but they become like a drama zone. So basically, I want to stay away from those controversial topics as much as I can say. I don't want to really dive into them. I do like Disney. I do love Disney. I have some hobbies. I'm a ham radio guy. I love ham radio. I can tell you about ham radio for hours on end. I'm also a person who loves to travel and go places, but because of what's been going on, I haven't been anywhere. Also, I do like to go around to different cities and just look at things, and that's getting kind of actually easier to do. Because things are getting a little bit better. And then also, so I like to share with you going to some places in Detroit. I'm not a big food reviewer. That's one thing I'm not. I'm not a big, I like food, but I'm not a food reviewer, but I need to eat less food. So maybe, that will be a thing. But if I come across a place and I go, man, that was really fantastic. There is this one guy. Look, if you're in Detroit, there's this one guy that you really should follow. That's Chow Detroit. He's a guy that basically goes around eating a lot of food at a lot of Detroit places, and you can go visit them. They're sporadic. So, they're just spread all over the place, not sporadic, but they're all over the place. And that was a bad choice of words, by the way. But they're spread out all over the place, and there's a lot of good places to eat. Detroit, you can really, Detroit has a lot of food. So, so I just want to share with you, like how I kind of go about, my day, how I plan things, and my planner, basically how I want to share with you some of my gear. I don't have a lot of, I have gear, but I don't have a lot of gear, but I'm not super expensive gear. That's what I'm talking about. Microphones, maybe they're really expensive. I am a microphone connoisseur. I love microphones. I'm a big audio guy. I love audio gear. But when it comes to cameras, I have some cameras. Like right now, we're talking in a Lumix, and I love it. It's a great camera. But I also do have. In the past, I have taken a lot of photos, by the way, for professionally, for journalism, for doing some free. What do they call it? I'm a freelance photographer that I did have some things published in the news. So I think that was kind of a great thing. But also, by the way, I want to tell you that I really do. So I can tell you about cameras. I can tell you about the usage of cameras. So there's a lot of people talk about tech details. But I think what comes down to cameras is really the usage of them, and then what the pros and cons are. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you about what I feel the pros and cons are of some cameras, but this is not a camera channel. So I think things are going to be kind of like a piecemeal. I just want to show you things about everything. What matters the most to me really is what this is going to be all about. So anyhow, I've ranted long enough. It's over we've probably going on here almost 20 minutes. What the heck? I don't really care. Anyhow, for now, we'll talk to you guys later. And for now, you know what time it is. Over and out.